You have all come to Port Peril to begin a life of piracy. To earn your fortunes, to be adored by men and women, and to live lives of fame or perhaps infamy at sea. After being ignored, laughed at, and spit upon in your efforts to find a captain and a crew, your quest has led you, at last, to a place to drink away your failure. Yet another stormy night, in what now feels like a life of stormy nights, finds you taking shelter in a nearby tavern. This is the Formidably Maid. Okay. So, this is the inn, and you can go ahead and put your characters in there wherever you want.
He's already drunk.
He's already drunk.
Where are you going?
Anywhere.
I'll put you up
You're all at different. You're all at different
Never
tables.
split the party.
Good. It's a good way to start out.
there. We haven't met each other yet.
All right. Fair enough.
He just wanted to have the high ground.
What the fuck me?
I
So
don't know you yet.
the tavern smells of stale fish, stale smoke, and stale ale.
Oh, it's burning.
Good thing this is my character, not me, because I'd be puking.
On the right, the sickly bald barkeep greets you from behind the bar. Oh, welcome! Coming out of the rain! Take a load off! He seems real healthy. A dark-skinned woman in Mwangan wraps sits alone at the bar polishing her staff. A gnome and a halfling occupy a small table to the left, the one-eyed gnome rambling on about some kind of technical improvements he's made to some machine, while the halfling feigns interest and tunes her fiddle. In the back corner, a gray-haired old woman in Varisian dress reads the fortune of a pale, barefoot woman who looks like she's seen better days. A set of stairs leads up to a balcony where an orc that appears to be part demon, part gorilla pounds out a simple rhythm on his cheap drum. Behind him sit a mangy gnoll and a smiling goblin quietly drinking from dented metal tankards. A red-headed serving girl glides by your table and drops off a menu that appears to have been used as a napkin by everyone, ever. The only light in here comes from the few flickering candles and the occasional flash of lightning outside. You're very brave. You went right up the stairs to sit with the most dangerous looking people in the tavern.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You get this kind of a dirty look from the gnoll, and he kind of shows his teeth, and he's got all these gold teeth in his mouth and a scar across his eye. You can barely see it where the fur kind of fades away at his eye. He gives you this dirty look, and he turns back to the goblin and whispers something to him, and the goblin just smiles. Welcome. Come on in out of the rain.
Hello. What, when he was whispering, what language were they speaking?
Make a perception check.
Oh, that was cute. I can't read that.
Ooh, is that a 20?
It's a 15.
So close.
So a 17 and a 16 are my two highest.
Okay, what's your middle?
Oh, so my middle would be 16.
Plus your perception?
That's including my perception.
Oh, okay. So 16.
No.
Yeah, it would be... what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Halfling, Mercenary Tongue, and Thieves' Cant.
Yeah. It's not any of those.
No. Okay. Okay. So I'm just saying hi.
The gnoll just sort of drinks his drink. Well, what brings you into the Formidably Maid? I mean, besides the rain.
Adventure.
Yes. You seek adventure?
I seek to go to sea.
Oh, well, you might be in the right place. Have you ever heard of Captain Harrigan?
Maybe.
He's one of the free captains here in Freeport.
Sure I have. Who hasn't heard of him?
Yes!
I think that calls her a bluff chick.
Because that's what my character would do.
Yes. I like that. Okay, so you kind of shoot the breeze with these guys up here. They seem to know a place where you could, a ship that you could enlist on, where you could become, go to sea. You could become the kind of thing you're seeking to be. Let's see. Gato, you are down there sort of by yourself at the end. So the barkeep comes up to you. Well, her conversation continues upstairs. And what can I get for you, friend?
A drink would be. It's hard to do an accent when you're actually trying to. A drink would be nice, good sir.
What will it be? A snake oil, bumbo, lover's blood, dark's flame?
I'll have a snake oil and one fish soup to this. Sorry, you seem like.
Very kind of you. There you go. And he grabs a cup, and with the rag that he's been coughing into, he wipes out the cup, he sets it down, and he pours out of this old bottle something that sort of slops out into this cup, sloshes it down in front of you. 4 copper!
Let's see. So how many copper is this?
So a silver would be 10 copper.
Okay, here you go. Like I said, it's hard to see the different colors on the
That's
coins.
10 silver. What have you got? Here, this is... What have you
I
got?
thought that was 10.
I apologize.
Well, it's your fault.
It is.
All right.
Genetically, it's my fault.
You'll give him 10 silver then. Alright, so he gives you your change. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
So...
Muchas gracias.
You might not understand that.
That's not one of his languages.
okay.
And tell me, sir, as long as you're here, do you know of any captains in the area looking to hire?
Captains, oh, yeah. You might want to talk to those fellas up there. He points to the gnoll and the goblin.
And from what I can see, like, obviously they've already had a bit of interaction between them up there. When I look up over there where he's pointing, like, do I notice anything special about the situation? Does it look like it's heated, or does it look like there's people sitting around talking, or?
No, the gnoll looks like a jerk, and the goblin is having a nice conversation with the sea witch. Because that's what happens. Yeah. Really, the most dangerous thing up there appears to be the orc that's playing the drum. He just looks like he's really angry at the world.
So as long as he plays his drum, he'll be alright. In theory.
So
Okay, so how many
You want me to
people are
walk
up there? The gnoll, the orc, the goblin, and him, right?
yeah.
So 4 of them?
Mm.
Alright. Bartender, one more second of your what denomination are these?
That's a copper.
Is that copper?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir, could I get 4 more of these snake ones?
4 more? Yeah, that's all right. I'll have Gwyneth bring them up.
Send them to the balcony, please, for my friends.
Absolutely. Yep.
Where'd we go?
I'm gonna be horseback
And
tonight.
so from there, I go on and make my way over across the bar. I come up the stairs. Do they notice my arrival? Or
Oh
no?
yeah. You get a scowl from the gnoll.
So I make brief eye contact with him, and then I look around to see the reactions of the other people to my arrival.
So the goblin raises his cup. Oh, well, welcome. Still a seat at the table?
Ah, yes, that is good, friends. And when has the bartender brought the drinks up? They brought the drinks up?
No,
Or
no. Gwyneth is still back there getting the drinks.
Okay. Good evening, friends. I was just having a chat with the bartender, and he was telling me about some business opportunities that might be available here. If I can have just a minute of your time to talk about it, there are drinks on the way for you all.
Oh, what sort of business opportunities are you interested in?
I heard that this was a good place to find a captain to set sail to sea.
Ah, indeed. Have you heard of Captain Harrigan?
I'm very new in town, so I'm afraid I have not. What can you tell me about him?
Well, he is one of the free captains and one of the most successful as well. Captain of the Wormwood he is.
The Wormwood?
Aye, you've heard of it?
I can't say that I have.
Well, you can't say that you haven't.
Well, technically no.
Good enough for me. Gwyneth comes up the stairs. She's got her tray of drinks. She kind of squeezes in and sets the 4 drinks down. These are from a gentleman downstairs. She walks off. The gnoll picks up the cup, sets it down, keeps drinking his other drink. The goblin takes his cup though, and he's like, I see you went for the snake oil.
I noticed the gnoll's actions, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, is it not to your taste? Because I would hate for it to go to waste. I can finish it.
Go ahead. So the bartender, same thing for you, Kay. What'll be? Well, I don't see many of your type here in Freeport. Where are you from?
What's it to you?
Well, none of my business, I guess. What can I get for you to drink?
Nothing really. Unless you can tell me where a good fight is.
If folks drink enough in here, so you might find one right here. Try not to get there, though. It ends up costing me too much.
Typical. Fine. Well, fine. I won't make you pay. I won't make you do any repairs.
I appreciate that. Can I get you something to eat, perhaps?
No.
It's a cold night. We could, fill your belly with something warm.
Judging on what you probably had, no.
All right, then. Well, pleasant evening to you. He walks away. Joe, where are you?
Hey, mate.
Oh, you're at the table with
Who am I
Padre.
upstairs with then?
Me
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he went
and
upstairs.
the goblin.
Is there
I put
another?
a character up
Is there an NPC at the table?
Well, if we're both at this one here, then there's 2 empty seats.
Yeah. But there's not an NPC there.
Nope.
No.
No.
All right. Well, I can't interact with you. But okay, so the girl comes by. Yeah, I can. What can I get for you, loves? Did you pick something from the menu?
I'll be for having a plate of fish and a dog's flame, if you please.
Oh, good choice. How about you, kind sir?
I'll have what he's having.
Well done. I'll be right back then. She hurries back. You've not seen her move this fast the whole time you've been here. And she hurries to the back and... Dog's flame. And then a couple minutes later, she comes back out with this tray. The fish is coming, but here's your dog's flame. There you go, sirs. There you go, the finest in the establishment. And my own personal favourite. I do think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, so the dog's flame is $1 each. And everyone who's had something to drink Make a Constitution
fish?
check. Yeah, the fish. Oh, the fish is 2 silver, so 3 silver total.
There's probably pretty something like
Oh, thank you kindly.
I haven't had my drink. I just kind of like nudged it over towards the goblin.
Is this a 16 or a 19? I don't see any marking on the die.
19. Well, because the 1 comes before.
I love
Otherwise, it'd be 61.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm dyslexic.
this.
Did you give me exact change? Somebody gave me a 10. Did you give me a 10, Joe?
Constitution
Aye.
check.
I gave you 10 silver.
I have a 15.
I keep on going Scottish. I keep on going.
Wait, are we making a Constitution check or a
Yep.
Fortitude saving?
Let's do. Yeah, go ahead and do a Fortitude saving throw. That makes more sense.
Okay, so then
I've been playing.
18.
I was trying to
Dragons
figure
too
money.
much.
Tell me what you said.
Fortitude saving throw. What'd you make?
Everybody?
18.
18? Oh yeah, you're good. I mean, you
I
can
can hold
tell
it.
you had a drink, but it's pretty much water.
I got a 20 on
Oh.
one, a 2 on the other, and my middle is a 9,
Plus your Fortitude,
which is 2.
so an 11.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you're drinking the
wasted.
Dahak's Flame.
Wasted.
Oh yeah.
I got a natural 20 on one of those.
Yeah, but it's still a critical. It's a critical
What
fail
was
if it doesn't,
yeah.
if that 11 doesn't pass. It's a critical fail. It's the same as a 1.
If the dot is here, so
That's
I
it.
think
nine.
Yeah, the dot's on the bottom.
Well,
Yeah.
no, did you
So I got
roll a
2, 2,
1 on
and
one of
9.
the dice?
Huh?
Did you roll a 1 on one of the dice?
So a 2.
All
Yeah.
right.
No idea.
Yeah. Plus your Fortitude.
Yeah, I still don't think you're
Plus
passing
one.
this scene.
Yeah.
3.
So you got a 5.
So I'm still sober.
No. You were both buzzed. Here you go. So when you're buzzed,
First one. That's my second one.
your judgment is slightly impaired. You take a -1 penalty to attack rolls, skill checks, and ability checks, and reflex saves. You must make a concentration check to cast spells. The bar door opens, and this yellowish colored, what appears to be a half-orc, enters in, and he sits down at the bar, kind of where Joel was, at the end of the bar. He looks around, kind of an expressionless look on his face,
He
and
looks threatening.
motions to the
Just a bit.
bartender who comes over. He kind of pantomimes. The bartender's like, gives him the menu, and he points to one. Bartender pours him a drink, takes a drink, and it looks kind of like a painful look on his face when he takes this drink, but he drinks it. Let's see, what's going on upstairs? There's just the goblin seems to be trying to sell you on Captain Harrigan's ship, right? He's looking for a crew, and you're looking for a captain, so it seems like an obvious match, right? The whole time the Knoll just doesn't look like he is having it.
Well, I guess he's the first mate.
So you two get to know each other?
All right.
How's your fish?
I had better.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's not great fish,
That's
but the
really-
Dahak's Flame is surprisingly good.
It was quite a buzz for a couple.
Yeah, silver.
So, a buzz.
That's an expensive drink.
Gwyneth comes back over. Can I get you another, loves?
I think I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I think he's plenty fine. He's had plenty.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm alright.
All right. The pale lady at the back table with the old lady, who was, you can see, you two are closest to them, so you would see that she was doing reading her fortune with what's called harrow cards. It's called a harrowing in Galarian, and there are certain people that have this. It's like a magical ability, right, to use these harrow cards to kind of see into the future. It's a divination type thing. There's also charlatans and frauds. And if you know anything about harrowing and can justify it, I'd let you make a perception to tell which one this is. But otherwise, you figure she's pretty good, because the pale lady walks away and she's like, yeah, She seems really pleased with the reading that she got.
So we do perception to tell what? That if she's a fake
Yeah.
or if she's not. I'll try it.
Would you
So
know what
perception?
harrowing is?
Patrick grew up in like an inn full of smugglers and people coming and going, so he might, you know.
Yeah,
So
a con can recognize another con.
exactly. Alright, and I take a -1 on this also though? Perception.
Yes.
Okay. So if I do
Yeah.
that,
You seem
so that
double.
would be a 12.
12? Yeah, she seems legit.
It seems legit for a 12.
She just takes her cards and kind of shuffles them up and sits there kind of pondering and sips a little sip of her drink, but that's the first time you've seen her take a sip of that drink. The other lady goes and sits down at your table, in fact.
Who's it?
Yeah,
This one?
the lady in the back corner, yeah, but not the old lady. The one that's got her arms out like this because she
She's
needs a
kinda
hug.
freaky looking, Mike.
She's coming in for a hug.
She's had a lot to drink.
She might have had a lot to drink. So she just sits down quietly and nods at you two. Orders a drink.
Into you.
Hey, good evening.
Is everything alright?
Well, everything is going to be all right. Yes,
Glad to hear it.
yes. I'll have a drink. She drinks. Gwyneth brings her a drink. She just downs the thing. A rough night out there. Yes,
Also?
it's very storm. The storm.
Yes.
Yes, the Eye of Bendigo come close tonight.
That it has.
You are not from here?
No, I'm from Riddleport, actually.
Oh, yes. I've heard of this little part.
Is she older, younger, or
She's middle aged,
Somewhere
but
in
she's
the middle.
rough. I
Yeah.
mean, she looks like she's seen better days. She doesn't have any shoes on, and her skin is just withered and
This
worn.
is not the fortune teller.
No.
It's just like,
Fortune teller is old and she's old. She looks old because she's old. This lady just looks old
what are you
because
saying,
she's
Jeremy?
worn.
He's not saying
Well, welcome to Freeport. She looks like she's about to cry. She drinks another beer.
anything. I have to do something. She's not right. Hi, lass, what ails you?
It's just life, you know. It is just life. Life and death. It is all part of the cycle.
Someone died?
Not recently, but times have been hard, you know, since he left. My husband, he's been gone for 7 years now, and I cannot seem to make it happen. I just sell the fish. Alright. So the old lady at the corner kind of looks over at you two, and she looks at the girl and kind of shakes her head, like she just feels sorry for her. And she goes back to her drink. The door opens, and this red-headed, looks like a kind of, at first glance she looks like she's like upper class, but then if you really look at her, you can tell that her clothes haven't been washed in days, and so you gather she's probably like a higher end courtesan or something of that nature, right? She's a fancy prostitute.
What?
Yeah, she enters the bar and sits down at that table by herself. She gets a drink. She you see her looking around the bar. Very observant, this one. At this point, the goblin, he motions to Gwyneth, who comes up, and he's like, "Hey, let's get a round of drinks, huh? Round of drinks for everyone." She's like, "Oh, okay. Right away, sir." She goes and tells the bartender, and he starts pouring cups, and she starts delivering them. And once everybody's got a drink in front of them, and you notice that these are what you just had, and way better than what you just bought. This is that. It's called a Dahak's Flame, and it is a spicy, strong drink. It's still a beer, and it's got some fizz to it, but there's something. It's like it was stored in a barrel that housed something much stronger. And so the goblin raises his cup and says, "A round of drinks for everyone. Fortune has smiled upon the crew of the Wormwood, and so we smile upon you." Ah! And everyone says something like, "Ah!
To Captain Harrigan.
To Captain Harrigan!
To the Wormwood.
To the Wormwood, indeed."
Whatever.
Yeah, so you drink up. Did you drink it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a free drink, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, you drink free drinks, right? That's what I'm saying. Everybody make a fortitude check.
Oh, no, they're
If you pay for a drink, you might as well drink one for free.
Mm-hmm. And it's the good stuff.
Oh, again, a 20. And my middle is a
Oh boy.
13.
I guess I'm stuck in the
Slice.
table.
So we just go for the
What is it?
16.
16? You're okay. You feel it, but you're like, yeah, that's a good drink. It warms your belly.
Yeah. 10.
plus 4
Welcome to Buzzland.
So 9.
Oh.
I'm getting that.
I haven't included
How long does the buzz condition last?
It'll last a while.
What would have happened if I'd have got a lower number than I did last time after having 2 drinks?
Again,
Would you just like bump me up?
Is that what? Are you?
Not.
I think
What's
he's saying he should be more drunk than normal.
What'd you roll?
I got a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Now you get to add your fortitude save.
Well, yeah, and
Minus
then
1.
subtract 1.
Okay.
15, 14.
So I had again
You take
a
the middle
natural
one, so it's
20 or
14.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
And my middle one is a 13.
No, your middle one's a 15.
Oh,
Or
15.
real drunk love.
So
Yeah.
15 plus 1 because
Yeah.
I would have had plus 2.
You're good.
All right.
You're good.
Stuff
You
girls on
still buzzed, but that's a good strong drink. What'd you get, Kay?
17.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And you rolled a 9
Mhm.
plus what?
No, I rolled a 6 plus 3.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But
There
you
you
have
go.
to subtract
I'll trade
one.
you.
We need to get him some. big
Subtract
dice.
1.
Because
Yeah,
the
'cause
part
buzz.
we have here.
Well, no, it's
No,
like say,
no. You don't
get
subtract
off
it from
the
your fortitude. Only from
Okay.
reflex.
Still a 9, I don't think pass. 'cause I
No,
have 10.
no. So welcome to Tipsyville.
Joe's wasted.
I'm
Yeah.
tipsy.
Tipsy.
Yeah, your inhibition's lower, your voice raises, your balance begins to waver. You take a -2 penalty to attack rolls, skill checks, ability checks, and reflex saves. Yeah. But you gain +1 temporary hit point per level.
The inability to feel pain.
We're gonna make sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's good. Let's make a perception check.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. That's terrible.
Oh, I have
Oh,
a
crap.
20. And my middle roll is a 19.
I rolled 2 ones.
I know.
You're pretty sure there's other people here.
And we take a -1 on this one.
Yes. Because she rolled a critical failure on her perception
Well,
check.
ability check.
So you're super distracted by some little something that's floating
sounds
around in your
completely
cup.
accurate.
You're like, is that a bug? And then it pops and you realize it was just a bubble. But you completely fail to notice the thing.
Anything.
Yeah, anything else. That was
I'm
just
20.
really... Huh?
So I'm 20.
You have a 20?
I'm a 17. Plus 3.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
let's say, how does
That's
the,
your middle one?
Does the critical still
Yeah.
count as long as your middle is still the same?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
basically I would take a -1.
You don't have to
So
roll
I couldn't
two
roll
20s.
so I couldn't roll an actual 20 but my middle
Right, but
die.
a natural 20 is always a potential crit.
Okay. Well, basically my dice are 20, 15, and 14. So my middle is 15.
Yeah.
With my perception, that's +4. Which -1 for
Wait, so
my thing. So 18
-2 on this.
is
Yeah.
my perception check
All right.
with a 20 rolled on top of it.
He did say, yeah, -1 on the perception was
So,
what mine was.
yeah.
What is yours?
Mine's 2.
Yours was -2. So whatever you had, plus that, -2.
So 18.
18?
Yeah.
Alright. So everybody above 12
Okay, I was 14, so.
will notice that it happens kind of quickly, but the front door opens like it has several times. You know, people keep pouring in off the street. And you see this stocky dwarf, beard dripping wet, sort of take a couple steps into the tavern, looks up at the barkeep. The barkeep and the dwarf make eye contact, and the barkeep does this kind of a slow nod, and the dwarf turns around and walks back out.
What was that?
You notice a bubble in your drink. As the storm grows outside, more and more people start coming into the bar, and this character, dark-skinned dude with some really exotic-looking gear on him. If you know anything about the area, you would say that he's probably from the Mwangan jungles. But this dude enters the bar and sits down at the table with the harlot. Yeah. He says a few things to her. You can't hear everything they say, but he's got this deep Mwangan accent, and she seems to sound Chelish. So the little hobbit halfling girl that was tuning her fiddle, she's finally had enough of this gnome talking about whatever his invention is that he's figured out how to fix, and like it's clearly a one-sided conversation with this guy just going on and on about something she's not interested in. So she sees as an opportunity to get up and move over to the bar and orders a drink over there. Complains about something about that shite shoveler's constant yapping. And then she drinks her drink.
Oh, she's already got one.
Well, she ordered one at the bar, and she's happy to be away from the little guy over there. We're gonna bring in another round of beer because everybody should drink. So again, he something about Captain Harrigan, right, and the famous free captain. And the more he drinks, the more elaborate his introductions get, right, or his toasts, and to his wealth and to your health. And everyone drinks after Gwyneth brings everybody their drinks.
It's a free drink, right?
Oh yeah,
All right.
free drink.
Oh,
Fortitude check.
never turns out.
Eight.
8?
Yeah.
I have a 20.
Because he needs some new dice.
I have
Are
a
we taking
20
more
and a
off of this?
15.
You don't take off of
Okay,
this.
okay.
20 and a 15.
Okay, so plus your fortitude.
Well, that is with
That's
my
with your
fortitude.
fortitude?
Yeah, because that's 20 and 12. My fortitude is +3.
Okay.
Do you have a negative
Yeah,
or
all right.
anything?
Not to fortitude. You won't
Yeah,
have
you won't
negative to
have
your
a negative,
fortitude.
so-
Oh,
that's either.
okay. So then I'm 10.
Yeah. Here you go. I'll trade you my drunk for your tipsy.
Okay. Now I'm drunk.
You're drunk. You're dizzy and disoriented. You take a -4 penalty to attack rolls, skill checks, ability checks, reflex saves.
Pretty much, if you try to get out of the
Have
chair,
12.
you'll be on the floor.
You have a 12?
Alright.
12.
Oh. Are you buzzed yet?
No.
Well, you are now.
Cool.
you
Thank
go.
you.
I'm fixing to move up instead.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah, this is
17.
I got a 7, so and I'm already buzzed.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be tipsy now. Yeah.
I got 17.
17?
Yep.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, yeah. You're fine. So
the tank should be able to hold their liquor.
the goblin starts telling you stories. Everybody's upstairs, telling you stories about
Well, like I said, you and Jill got your wish.
the great things
You
that
were
Captain
happy
Harrigan
then,
has
too, that
done,
weekend.
That was.
and how amazing he is. That he's the best captain ever, and I love Captain Harrigan. Right? He's just going on about and then one time we raided this one ship, and they had all these slaves on board, and Captain Harrigan set them all free. And it's a fantastic guy, really good guy, right? Yeah. That's it. While the knoll just glares at you.
Patrick's more interested in the halfling lass at the bar.
Yeah. Do you want to go sit with her?
Sure.
Okay. Do it.
Just blurry up this guy at the end.
What are you having, lass?
Apparently, Dahak's flame.
Oh, well, it's nice, I have one too.
I have a few now. We've got it easier than them, because it hits us faster.
Right? Patrick and Michael Darnay, what's your name?
Oh, Rosie Coswell.
Rosie, good to meet you, lass.
Good to meet you too, Patrick. Are you new in these parts?
I came
Coswell.
from Riddleport.
Riddleport! I got family in Riddleport.
Oh yeah,
I do?
who are they?
Huh?
Who are you related
Oh,
to?
just some cousins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I can't remember things. Tell me your last name again.
Cuswell. And as you talk to her, you realize that it's a really appropriate name for her.
Okay.
Every other word is feckin' this and feckin' that, and the feckless chap over there, if he had a feckin' clue. Yeah. Talking on and on about some sort of machine he's created to shoot some sort of a harpoon, as if people can't just throw it themselves.
Hi. How long have you been playing the fiddle?
Oh, I've been playing for years.
Yeah?
Yeah, I come up here and play sometimes. Well, it's that fella up there, he doesn't take kindly to other people stepping in his territory, so
He's
he
a
likes-
drummer.
he likes to beat his drum, so I let him. It's hard to play with, though. If you start playing with him, he'll just play faster and faster and faster. So I just let him do his thing. So the door opens again, and in comes this pompous little gnome.
Oh.
I mean,
buddy.
for how small he is, he seems to think that he's like the biggest thing ever. And he looks around and he goes and sits down with the other gnome, the gnome that's talking about his machine that he's built, right? This harpoon thrower thing.
So when the doors open, this guy comes in, like, obviously, like, you know, I'm probably, like, you know, as, you know, if I hear, like, the door open or so, I'd probably glancing around the bar at occasion, you know, because I'm, you know, kind of getting the lay of the land here. Like, when this guy comes in, like, how noticeable is he about his entrance?
Oh, yeah, he's very noticeable. He wants everybody to notice him.
Okay, so it's a safe bet where I am that I've noticed his arrival and the way he acts.
Even though your back's to the door.
I mean, your back's turned. I mean, you might glance back and kind of watch him, yeah.
Well, like I said, that's why I was asking how big was his entrance. Because basically, if I hear the door, I'm just going to turn back and glance and basically just see, like, a well-dressed gnome, not think anything of it.
Yeah.
Is he, like, boisterous or
Oh, yeah.
grandiose about his
No,
entrance?
he's super flamboyant, yeah.
Okay, so
He
like
wants
there's
everybody to know.
there's a good chance that like if he opened the door and I turned around to check who it was, that I would possibly, you know, give it a closer investigation.
Sure.
Okay. So
What are you looking for?
well no, I just basically like I glance over and I see this guy come in, you know, being a gnome and acting like he's the king of the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey guys, this ought to be good.
Yeah.
Let's watch this guy.
You get a chuckle out of the goblin, who you now know is named Mr. Plug. Yeah. And Mr. Plug will sometimes refer to Master Scourge, the gnoll with the gold teeth. But Master Scourge doesn't say much. He just drinks his Dahak's flame.
Okay, the goblin is.
Mr. Plug.
He's the guy up here.
Well, I know this, but do you all sitting down?
No,
No.
but I'm
I'm
writing it
sitting,
down
up,
for
I'm
later.
sitting up here talking to this guy.
Okay, and the other guy is.
Master Scourge.
What is he?
He's the gnoll.
The guy who doesn't like him. The black.
We haven't met him, but I met them. But...
So the Momongan dude, the jungle dude, he seems really interested in talking to the harlot, and she wants nothing to do with him. And at some point, he asks her a question, and she just kind of sneers at him, and then she gets up, and now that she's had time to like look around the bar and see, watch everybody, she gets up, she goes right up the stairs, and she squeezes in between you and Master Scourge. Yeah. You can take the chairs out or whatever. We'll assume everybody's sitting on chairs. It's fine.
Round, strange plastic chairs.
Now, when you say she squeezes in, is she like literally squeezing, like kind of pushing us over, or?
Yeah,
Or
it's
there
she's
just
very.
happened to be a space and she's small, she just kind of slid in there.
Yeah, I mean she's not like subtle about it. She's gonna put herself between you and Master Scourge, and maybe she has to kind of shove you out of the way a little bit. Yeah. She's like, so I have heard that you are talking about a ship, huh? You are very wealthy pirates, huh? Scourge is just like, yeah. But Mr. Plug, he's happy to oblige.
Oh,
yes, we're the crew of the Wormwood. You've heard of the Wormwood, yes?
The ale is clearly getting to his little goblin self.
It is the finest ship in the Shackles. You've definitely heard of it. I can see it in your eyes.
And she's like,
Oh yes, I have heard of the Wormwood. It is a fantastic ship with a well-renowned crew. Yes, and you are on the crew? Oh yes. You would, perhaps you'd like to join us?
she's like,
Well, perhaps I could be persuaded. Well, how about another round on Captain Harrigan
Oh,
and the crew of the Wormwood?
good.
and
Can we
Gwyneth
hear
is
this
like,
down there?
oh yeah, you hear
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Gwyneth is
That
like,
sounds like he's a.
Oh,
another round on Captain Harrigan and the crew of the Wormwood.
oh,
Here we
no.
go.
Oh, you've got to be
I kind of
kidding me.
lean over and I'm like,
You've got
my
to be
cure light
kidding
wounds
me.
doesn't cure me.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh dear.
He looks like
Oh dear.
I was gonna.
Critical fail.
Critical fail.
Critical fail.
Alright.
So,
Oh.
I was gonna
We're at
the -4?
I'm already tipsy.
I was gonna ask if I could make a check to like dump my beer under the table, but that's a free Doc's flame. And
Why would you do it?
you gotta.
Oh
If it
dear.
was a snake oil,
So I do
probably done the check. But
use the -4 plus the fortitude.
You don't have to take the -4 to your fortitude.
So 19.
19. You're good. You remain drunk.
I imagine I had a critical fail and my middle dice is 11.
What's that with your fortitude?
11.
Oh yeah. Where are you? Buzzed?
My middle.
Yes, I'm buzzed.
You're tipsy now.
I have a 13
Straight.
in the buzz condition.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
middle was a 2.
My middle was a 2.
Yeah.
Oh, grab that.
Yeah.
You are. You're buzzed. You're tipsy.
No, for me.
No, for her.
Oh,
Here, me, zip things.
I got 13. Is
13? Yeah. That is Dog's flame, dude.
I got 18.
18?
I never noticed the difference.
You're not
in
even buzzed
whatever
yet?
the brand name was, just the
She's
amount
our
of alcohol in
tank.
it.
Yeah. It's a lot more alcohol. This is strong stuff.
That was. Thank you for coming in tonight, because thank you.
The Knoll just looks at him and shakes his head. Gwyneth, you notice Gwyneth trips and she spills. She's carrying a couple of drinks on her thing, and it spills and all over the place. And she kind of looks up like really embarrassed. She does it right next to you, where you two. No, where you are sitting. You, yeah. She trips and falls right there and spills her stuff all over the place. And she's like, oh.
Do I help her pick it up?
That's up to you, man.
That's you.
You do notice like the bar goes quiet. It's one of those like restaurant moments, you know, where somebody you hear the crash and every head turns, right?
All right, I attend and help her pick up the tray.
She sees you come down and she smiles. She smiles at you. Make a sense motive check.
Sense motive.
Yeah.
All right, so I just roll my 3.
Take the middle one and add sense motive to it.
Which would be under your skills.
So I got 11.
With your bonus?
Yeah.
11?
Yeah.
She's clearly embarrassed, but you get the feeling that like her smile for you is like almost a sad smile. Like there's something she wishes she could say to you, but she quickly looks away and puts the stuff back on. Thank you for your help. And she walks back.
Okay, so then I sit back now.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to stand.
Because it's hard to stand. That's true. All right. Let's see. You're still over there with Rosie Cuswell. Are you flirting with Rosie Cuswell?
Just a bit.
Yeah. She's kind of flirting back.
Alright.
It's good to see
Is
someone.
she really, or is it the alcohol?
It's hard to tell, actually. now that
Doesn't
you
look
think
better
about
at
it.
this point.
Make a sense motive check to tell if she's sincere. While you're doing
I'll
that,
take the negative on this one.
yeah, it's a skill check.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, I didn't do the negative 4 on my sense
20.
motive.
18 plus 2 for my middle.
Oh, really?
20.
That's good. What are you doing? Sense and motive on? Oh yeah, on
She's
Rosie.
flirting, yeah.
Yeah, she's sincere. I mean, she's a flirtatious little thing.
Oh, that's my
Yeah, but lots of innuendos about her fiddle somehow. However that works. Yeah.
I'm not a straight-bladed guy. I don't know how to do that.
I was about to say, what are you going to do?
I have no idea.
It's not stupid.
Is my dog over there?
Yes.
What's he doing?
Being pet. Just being pet. Because he
Oh.
knows if it comes to me, I'm gonna pet him.
Yeah.
I was never gonna pet him. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna
I'm
like
sure
it.
what to do, but I really
No.
don't care at this point.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right, the door opens again, and it is pouring down outside. There's thunder and lightning, and in walks this lady. She is clearly a pirate. She's got this big pipe in her hand and this big piratey hat. She's just dripping wet, and she steps in and kind of shakes it off, takes her hat off, dumps it out before she closes the door, puts her hat back on, looks at her pipe. Walks over to the table with Mahim, the Mwangan dude, and she sits down next to him and whispers something, and then whoosh, this little flame appears in her hand, and she just lights her pipe. And she orders a drink, and she and that dude start talking. There's something about her that she's got like this presence about her, like she belongs in this town. The little gnome dude, the pompous one,
Right.
the flamboyant one, he's tired of the other guy talking to him, and you see him try to get a few words in, but the other guy's just going on about this and that, and all there was that, and so he's like, he sees Rosie, and so he kind of goes over and tries to squeeze in. Not necessarily in between you, but like on the other side, and he gets this nasty look from that dude, and he's like, "Oh, good sir, do you mind if you make room for me here? Would you mind, good sir?" And the yellowish half orc just looks at him and grabs his drink and goes and sits down at the whatever table, wherever he put him. That's where he put him. He's with you.
He's with me.
Yeah. He looks at you.
My table was mostly empty, so.
Yeah, that's fair. So this little guy orders a
That
drink.
one's full now. I can't be very well.
No, so there's 2 people there and there's 3 people there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the bar's filling up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rain has been good to them on this night.
One of the reasons why I ain't left yet. That I can barely stand.
I don't even think it's whether you can barely stand. It's can you stand at all?
It says I'm drunk.
So a little.
Yeah.
I'm not about to pass out.
Are you sure?
I'm dizzy and disoriented.
The pompous little guy waits for a break in your conversation. Maybe you both take a drink or something, and he's kind of pokes his head up, and he's super short.
Well, my lady, I see that thou hast a fine fiddle in thine hand. Pray, may I beg that thou might entertain us with a song? Hmm?
I kind of elbow her.
She looks over at him. She's like, "I'd not play for you, thou feckless wax sniffer, if you ordered me the weight of your member in gold. But I might play for 2 gold." She has a good laugh at that one. That was really clever. Oh, thou art spirited. He is not deterred. A drink for my lady. He buys her a drink. She's clearly not interested in him. She kind of does the shoulder thing to turn to you, and
She likes you. But I don't notice that.
Yeah.
So now this guy comes in, and he's just rough. He's an old dude. Clearly doesn't belong in here. Missing his arm. He's got a big hook. Yeah.
He's missing like his entire arm.
Yeah, and he comes in and he takes his glasses off and he wipes them on his shirt. He almost reaches for him with his other arm and then realizes no.
It's not there.
Wipes his glasses. He stands on top of the wall.
I didn't know where he was going yet.
Wherever. Put him wherever.
Bar's getting full.
Yes. Yes, it is. And
Time for a brawl.
you see
If it's a brawl,
you see Mr. Plug like looking around, and even Master Scourge, the Gnoll, looking around, and they give each other a knowing look and kind of nod their heads.
So speaking of all this, since I've been up there with them the entire
Yeah,
time,
Yeah.
that was their
making
conversation.
small talk, like
Yeah.
asking about the ship and the crew and the captain and stuff, have I been able to learn anything from these guys? Like, what have they told me thus far? I'm assuming we've been sitting up here making small talk
Yeah.
about, because basically they know I'm enjoying the crew and I want to know more about it. So we've been up here making small talk this whole time.
Sure. So mostly he's telling you how great Captain Harrigan is. I mean that's
He does bring the free drinks.
He does, and if you were on his crew, he'd treat you so much better, because he's Captain Harrigan. Captain Harrigan is the best free captain in the Shackles.
Yes,
Have I told you about the time we attacked the Ra-Doom merchant ship and it was full of slaves? Captain Harrigan set all the slaves free.
Twice.
that is very admirable. I happen to be a war priest, but there have not been so many wars lately, so I'm turning to other sorts of work. People have told me that your crew might be somewhat unorthodox, but you're not bad people.
Oh, we're the best. I mean, look at us. We're just sharing the wealth. What's mine is yours. That's how we do it on the Wormwood.
I've heard some call you pirates, but at the same time, I've heard that you never attack good people.
No.
Maybe
No.
some people may call you pirates. Other people.
They're
call
probably
you,
jealous.
Other people call you the Hood of Robin.
I don't get that reference.
this the harlot is really trying to make some moves on the knoll right there. And he's actually having some of it, and she's drinking her drink and whispering things and laughing about whatever cute thing she's telling him. And he kind of warms up to her, and she goes and puts her hand on his hand, and it's super gross because his hand's like all weathered and hairy. You know, he's a gnoll, so he's like
Warts all over it.
yeah, and even under like the parts of he's mangy, so the parts of his skin that you can see are just all weathered and leathery. Yeah, and she's just like, ooh, yes, he's got gold teeth. Yeah.
She's a murderer.
I think it's a time for another round on Captain Harrigan and the crew of the Wormwood. To Captain Harrigan and all of the free captains of Freeport.
Barkeep!
Captains of Freeport.
Gwyneth has already like handed out the drinks by the time he finishes saying his thing because he's so
Patrick
long-winded.
kind of winks over at Rosie and says, "You want to go sit down? You know, get away from this guy. You know, we
Bark-
take our drinks and
Yeah.
You'd never fag an
I
ass.
pretty much don't start
So we-
barkeep. Barkeep!
kind of walk over.
How
to
many
one of the
drinks
tables
is this? How many drinks is this little thing drunk?
So, I use my tipsy status.
I can't wait to hear the rest of this sentence.
I use my tipsy status to cheer the rest of the people. I use the tipsy status and a little bit of acting to cheer the rest of the group, and then proceed to like dump most of the beer like on my face.
Make a bluff check.
Sweet.
What'd you get?
11.
Oh, where are you? Drunk?
Drunk.
Oh.
What's next?
Alright, so
Well,
A 1, a 6, and a 16, so that gives me a 7 for
I'm
bluff.
now hammered.
Does a 7 pass the bluff
You're
check?
next.
A 7 for bluff? Okay.
so I do minus
So,
4
You
plus
do.
3.
You
know,
kind of
don't do that.
overdo
You
it
don't do the
a little
minus on
bit.
these.
And,
Everything else, but
and
not on this for the drink.
not wanting to
Okay,
get
so
it
you
all
will
over
take
your
your middle
face,
and
you
add
sort
it
of
to
dump
your
it to the
fourth.
side
I was
of you.
getting it all over my
You
face.
gotta
I was just gonna be like,
Huh?
You got a what?
Okay.
just like
Oh.
act like I was like.
What's your middle?
Sure.
Your
I mean,
middle's a 4.
You do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hammered.
Yeah.
Critical fail.
You get some really strange looks
That lowest only matters.
from
Yeah, you're
From the
hammered.
other
Join
guys.
the party.
Or a 20.
Okay. Alright. I figured I was, but I'm still.
Forgive me, my friends.
So
I'm used to this snake
Yeah,
oil.
yeah.
I got 11.
This is a lot.
You rolled an 11?
Well, I got
Whoa.
8,
Yeah.
and then plus 3.
Yeah.
11.
Oh, you
Whoa.
finally buzzed.
Oh,
Wow.
16.
You're okay.
it took me.
You're okay.
It took me how many drinks to get there?
Did you hear me a while ago when we first got our drinks and I asked Rosie if we could go
Yes.
and sit down? So
Yeah.
Rosie and I
She's
need
all
to go
for it.
sit somewhere else away from the pompous little gnome. Yeah.
Not if it's on like a drink.
And we need
like,
to do it
only if
in
it's on
pretty
here,
quickly
you, like,
because
say,
after I
yeah.
drink this, I can't walk.
If he has to
Get
do
a
like a
straight
fortitude or
line.
will save, you don't have to mind.
Okay, so I don't have to do the
Ro-
reflex.
Rosie kind of lets you
Yeah.
lean on her, but she's not walking so straight herself.
But that's
Yeah,
anything
okay.
like you're taking
Yeah,
that
They-
on
they
any
hold
of
each other.
You kind of like arms around his shoulders, and then
And,
she's got her fiddle in her hand, and you
you
waddle over to a couple
You
of
roll
seats
any of
next to
these?
each other
That's
and
a flower to strong
sit
drink.
down.
Okay.
There's
So I
really
don't-
no
but I don't have to do that.
Well,
Let's go.
I mean,
Maybe
move
it's
the
a
chairs.
bar or something.
No.
Yeah, just move some chairs. Just pull the chairs
Just
out of
away
it.
from the little guy. He's getting on her nerves.
Yeah, put them wherever. Rosie
He just-
falls
he just
down.
knocked him out in the middle of the bar.
Bar fight.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
He's so excited about a bar
She's
fight.
waiting for it. Yeah.
But yeah, she's still like practically
Are
sober.
we sitting somewhere?
Yeah, I was. I'm right there.
Okay.
The door opens, the thunder and the lightning outside, the rain is pouring down again. A pair of kids walks in, just sopping wet and completely out of breath. But they've just stepped in and they kind of look behind and close the door, and then they turn around and they see like everybody in here, and everybody's having their own conversations, and most people are pretty well drunk by this time, so people don't really pay much attention to the kids. But you've got this little boy who's maybe 8 or 9 years old, and a little girl a little bit older than him, maybe 11 or 12. The little boy's got he's got all his equipment on him, and he looks like he's got a couple of, like he was ready for a trip, and the girl looks like she's ready for a trip too. They've got some bags packed and some things rolled up. Everything is just completely drenched, right? And their hair is stuck to their faces, just dripping down their faces. And she looks at the boy and she's like, "All right, Jack, we'll be safe in here. Let's just sit tight for a moment." And they go over to this little, the corner table with the little gnome. "You mind if we sit here, sir?" And they really just try to blend in as much as possible. I mean, they stick out.
11-year-old scan in a
Yes.
tavern.
Right.
Blending.
You're gonna have some club soda.
Well, I mean, the culture is
So it's,
different.
yeah, different.
Yeah.
Because it's not America, but
Pirate country.
yeah, this is pirate country, so they're probably no stranger to drink, and they might spend time in taverns. Who knows? But yeah, and so they sit and they talk in whispers over there about whatever. If you're close to them and you want to make a perception check, you can do so.
So we're pretty close. Perception.
Yeah, remember to take your like minus
minus
18
8
or
now.
8.
Well, so basically from where I'm sitting, like I said, like, you know, basically if I hear the door open, like I'll give a quick look back to see who it is. Like, do I notice like are these children, like, is it common enough for children to be in a bar like that wouldn't attract my attention, or would I be like, kids?
Well,
like, what are they doing here?
Yeah, I would think
You
common.
figure it's pouring down outside, and what's you're tipsy?
Mhm.
Yeah. Make an inside check.
Insight. What's that based on? Because I don't have insight as a skill.
You sure?
I have intimidate.
Oh.
I don't have
It
insight.
doesn't
Sense
base-
motive. Sorry.
Sense motive,
It's sense
okay.
motive is
Yeah,
what I'm looking
okay.
for.
This is
It's motive.
Yeah,
That
which is
should
a
be on
wisdom
there.
check.
It's a
Do you have
skill.
sense motive? Yeah.
So it's sense motive again. So I'm basically sensing motive to determine what the level of inebriation
Yeah.
on my table is.
Yeah.
A 20,
Is he at our table? No,
a
he's
6,
upstairs.
and a 3. So with my sense motive check, I'm gonna have an 8 with a 20 on top.
Well, 20 doesn't matter though. Yeah. You're 8. You think that everybody is pretty well intoxicated.
With an 8.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I said, I've noticed an oddity, like not just from the kids being in the bar, but the fact that they have luggage with them. I kind of want to investigate it. You know, I'm a naturally curious kind of character. And so
Who's your patron?
Patron?
Yeah, your god. Your deity.
Serenity.
You're going with Samurai?
For now at least.
Okay. So, I mean, as a war priest, it would be your thing anyways to kind of watch out for like the little kids and
Yeah,
to
like I
make sure
said,
they're
there's something that struck me a lot about this. So I basically turned to the rest of the table and I say, well, it's been good chatting with you, but I think that I shall go talk to some other people as well. Here's my contact information where I'm staying. Send me some more information.
Here's my card.
Here's my card.
Send me some more information on this Harrigan and the Wormwood, and maybe we can come to some sort of agreement.
Yes, well, stick around for a moment.
Well, I shall be in the bar. I was just wanting to talk with. It's getting busy. I like to meet new people.
Of course.
I'm new here.
Of
I want
course.
to meet some people.
Yeah, of course. You go in and meet the people.
But before I do, one more dachshund for you on me.
Oh, thank you. The dogs. You know what? The dogs flame for the whole bar.
You've got to be joking.
Everyone around
What are you complaining
on
about?
Captain Harrigan.
You're not even drunk, yeah.
Oh, it's like,
Oh dear.
At this point, Gwyneth is just like,
I'm wasted.
here you go, here you go, here you go. He's
I'm
already got,
fixing
the
to
bartender's
pass out,
already
I
got him
think.
lined up.
Okay.
They're
I
just,
got a
they're ready
6.
for it. You got a 6? Yeah.
Better than me.
All right, you're moving from tipsy to drunk.
I'm gonna be
There you
moving from
go.
hammered to sloshed, I guess.
19.
19?
You don't
You're
do
good.
that
What'd
on
you
the
get?
books, yeah.
14.
14, what are you?
15.
Buzzed?
That plus
You're
your,
tipsy, here you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy
fortitude
that.
save.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
Do I
15.
get to start sobering up yet?
I mean, you keep drinking, so I'm gonna say no to that one.
Nice try.
15.
15? Alright.
On hammered.
You're still hammered.
Okay.
I'm not.
What?
I got a 5.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man! You,
It's been good to see you.
you, sir, are plastered.
Minus 16.
Oh,
Basically,
you
not
can't
attacking
stand
anybody,
or
rolling
speak.
against any of these skills.
Take minus 16 to everything.
I just loving little Rosie.
Yeah.
Give her a
Well,
pass.
here's the deal.
Minus 2.
Rosie is plastered herself.
Oh, okay.
You two have stopped.
Plastered together.
You stopped conversing, and your whole interaction
Making
mostly.
googly eyes.
Yes, it's like looking and giggling. She'll try to say something once in a while, and then she'll just laugh at herself. Oh yeah, the little hobbits over there, they're just gone.
Can't hold her liquor.
They found each other, and then they found like the bottom of the barrel. They're soon to find the
Went for a
floor.
swim.
Are you happy I can hold my?
All right,
she's
so
still
Joel,
not.
She's
not
not
tipsy.
drunk.
she's like,
She's tipsy.
Tipsy? Oh.
hey, she's your tank.
That's Hannah after
That's how
one
She's like
class.
90 pounds.
So, Joel, you go over to the kids. You notice that they both take the drink.
I've excused myself from them.
Yeah.
Both take the Doc's
They take the Doc's flame,
Doc's flame.
Yeah.
Doc's
and they sip at it. And the older one, she looks like she's done this before, but the little one, not so much.
So do I know if this bar has any non-alcoholic beverages?
Good one.
There's nothing on the menu.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, so like, is it after I already get to the children, they've noticed me that I noticed that, like, you know, their drinking habits, or am I noticing this as I walk up?
Yeah, you notice it as you walk up.
Okay, so as I'm walking towards them, then I notice that, like, the one seems like she's kind of used to having a drink, but the other one not so much. So instead of going to them, I alter my course and I walk back over to the bar and try to get the attention of the bartender. Yes, excuse me, good sir. Do you have anything without alcohol, even just water? Be fine.
Sure, yeah, we can get you some water. The Doc's flame hitting you pretty hard, eh?
How much is it?
The water's on the house.
Could I get 2?
It's because it's raining outside. No water. Oh no.
Rosie and I just
God.
Yes.
Yes, good sir. Could I get 2 of the waters, please?
Yeah. Hey, there's a window kind of behind the bar, and he just yells at somebody back there, "Couple of waters!" Somebody back there brings him some waters. There you go.
Okay, so I take the waters over to the table with the kids,
Mm.
and I say,
spring for milk.
and I tell them, hey, these aren't on the menu, but you might find these more to your liking. You might find this more to your liking.
The girl's like, she smiles at you, but the boy says, "Oh, thank you, sir." He drinks it up, like he just drinks it up, and the girl's like, "Jack, do you want mine?" No, Jackie, you can have yours.
Jack and Jackie.
I'm drinking the dog's flame. I'll trade you my water for your dog's flame. Okay. So he sips at his water now, and she sips at the dog's flame. Two of them. Yeah. She gets pretty tipsy fast. She might go from tipsy to or buzzed to tipsy to
Plastered.
drunk in one of those cups.
Okay.
I mean, she's like
So-
12. They're both human children.
Okay.
Make
Wow.
a sense motive check.
Sense
yeah.
check.
I'm sorry. My brain's sitting there thinking, okay, 11-year-old little girl, he walks up, kitty!
That's true.
11-year-old drunk girl. Yeah.
11.
Then 11. Okay. You notice that the girl seems a little bit happier than the boy does. She seems cheery and whatever, but they're both still like, I mean,
Happier is
due to her
in
being drunk.
under the inebriation.
Yeah,
Happier or
yeah,
like
probably.
Okay.
And they
She's-
both kind of shiver there, and they pull the candles closer to them.
she has 2 dogs flames.
Yeah. She's halfway done with one of them. Maybe she's finished the first one, but she's not touched the second one.
Okay. I flagged down one of the waitresses. I order another
waitress.
water.
Oh yeah, right away, sir. She goes off and gets another water.
Okay. And when she comes back
Hey,
with it,
what?
when she comes back with it, I turn to the girl and say, you know, I think you've warmed up quite enough for one night. How about you drink this and I will trade you for that other one.
Well, I think maybe I'll just keep it.
Okay, so she's probably so. Let me.
The boy speaks up and he's like, Jackie, maybe you should listen to the cat man.
Can I do any kind of check to like try to determine how drunk she is?
Make a heal check.
You'll check.
Yeah.
$13.
I mean, she's pretty inebriated. You'd say
Okay,
she's
so-
probably past where you are.
Past where I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so I try to keep them distracted with some small talk and stuff, and then I attempt to switch the glasses
Okay.
so that I can switch her my water for that dog flame that she doesn't need.
Make a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. I don't have that on my list.
So you're not good
Then-
at it.
Then you're gonna be
Yeah,
at a
you're
disadvantage there.
20, 19, and 17.
So
The
the 19?
No.
Oh,
I made a 13.
a 13, and then minus whatever for being drunk.
Well, is that a
It's a skill.
oh, it's a skill check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you subtract for being drunk? 4?
Yep. So I got
16. I don't even.
Yeah.
I just knocked the glass off the counter. It's like the glass off the table,
With your tail.
I'm sorry. It's a racial discrimination.
You and Rosie bust up at this because you're just watching people at this point, and you see him trying to switch the things and try to be slick about it, and he just knocks the drink off the table. It's all over the floor. Gwyneth, the barmaid, just looks over and she's like, she goes back and grabs a towel and brings it over and mops it up. I'll get it, sir. Never you mind yourself about this. I'll clean it all up. And he licks his paw.
That's hilarious.
The girl Jackie, she's like, oh, That was my drink. She grudgingly takes the water and drinks a bit of it. Did you just come over here to spill my drink? No, I thought cats were supposed to be graceful. Jackie, be nice. He's trying to do us a favor. Maybe you've had too much to drink. On a day like this, too much to drink? I should be drinking my life away. Everything's about to change, Jack. We're gonna be free. You don't understand. It's freedom, Jack. Okay, Jackie, it's freedom. Just drink the water.
So I'm guessing I overheard all this. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
right there.
That's how good hearing.
And so basically I turned around and asked, what is this freedom you talk about? Are you trapped somewhere?
I'm not trapped, but and you see Jack just like nodding his head, and she's like, Jack, it's okay because we'll never go back there. But if you tell everybody, we can't even go back to my house. Jack, we're not going back to your house. We're gonna be pirates. She says it super loud. You hear a chuckle from the goblin upstairs.
I go, pirates!
I'll tell you what's happened. You see, it's me da. Her eyes tear up. She goes from being like super ecstatic to just being overwhelmed with emotion. Me da is not a good man. And I finally got the courage to help somebody out, right, Jack? He's like, that's right, Jackie. You had the courage and you did the right thing and I'm thankful for it. And me da, he does bad things. He was going to do bad things to little Jack. And I've seen him do bad things to other little kids too. And it's my fault because I helped him. I helped him capture the kids. I helped him gain their trust. And then they come back to the house and they do bad things to him. But now I'm big. I'm a woman, see? And so I can't let him do it anymore. And so I helped Jack and we escaped. We escaped from me dad. And we're not going back. We're gonna go be free and live a life of piracy.
Can I make a check to try and determine how truthful she's being?
Sense motive.
I don't like your dice, Jeremy.
Use your own.
Mine 4 and 3. So 4 plus. Oh wait, well, I take negative 4, so I have plus 2. So I got 2.
She's absolutely truthful. You detect no attempt to.
Doesn't mean it's not there. He just didn't detect it.
Yeah, that's the key to the low roll.
Which could mean that she's being absolutely truthful.
If you roll low, what you are told
is what you believe.
Is what you believe, whether or not it's a blatant lie.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so I have basically, so yeah, in my state, she seems to be totally truthful, but actually have no actual knowledge of what she might be doing.
But you assume that she's telling the truth.
But yes, as far as my character goes, she is telling the truth. So, do I know of is there any kind of a convent or monastery or anything around here, orphanage?
In Port Peril? There's an orphanage. Yeah.
But it's not good.
Might be where they came from.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, I guess I will excuse myself from the children and say that I need to go talk to a friend, but that I'll see what I can do to help them out.
Alright. Thanks, friend.
And from there, I'm going to head back upstairs. And I'll re-engage the goblin, who I'm guessing is still inebriated.
Oh yeah, he's super sloshed.
So I come back upstairs, ox fling. Hand it to the goblin.
Oh, is this? Oh, for me? Well, thank you, kind sir. Oh, did you went to go mingle? Did you mingle, sir?
Yes, I did. I actually want to talk to you more. You'd see the way you were sounding. It seemed like you were looking for a new crew for the Wormwood, correct?
Yes.
So, let me tell you right now that from what I learned in the bar, I am definitely interested in joining on with your crew.
Oh, a fine choice, sir.
And there's the
You will not regret it.
There's the possibility of 2 extra crew members.
Oh, is there now?
Yes. They cannot do much. Like they could not. They would probably. They're probably the type you want to stay on the ship and maybe kind of take care of things. You know, mop the deck. You know.
Yes. Oh,
But,
there will be much mopping of decks.
But, no. They're not good at the fighting. So.
Oh, that's fine.
They would be good for ship chores.
Yes, that is
In
necessary.
exchange for their passage. Possibly.
Certainly, yes. We are always in need of good crew members.
Equal opportunity.
This is,
Captain Harrigan is an equal opportunity employer.
So knowing this.
Knowing this,
Are there any particular rules for your ship? Age
Oh,
requirements?
yes.
Oh, and what would these rules be?
You are not allowed to get drunk on the ship. On the ship, mind you.
Oh, I
Because
see,
of-
I see it. So I
No.
kind of gathered it was probably
We
on
are
the ship.
we are not on the ship.
I think I may have gathered as
And
much.
no fighting. Not allowed to fight each other. You can fight the other people on the ships that we attack, because
so-
that's how you steal what they have and make it yours. Yeah, and then you go back to shore with all of the loot that you've gathered, and you spend it. Another round on Captain Harrigan.
Captain Harrigan!
To Captain Harrigan.
At this point, lots of people are Captain Harrigan.
I figured he would have passed out at that last one I gave him.
Yeah, I'm not even rolling because I have a -6. Oh no, I don't have.
Well, you
that.
don't have to. That's your fortitude.
Yeah. Never mind.
Fortitude's alright. 10. Oh, where are you?
I'm hammered.
Not anymore. You are plastered, sir.
I am 13.
13. You're moving from drunk to
Tipsy.
go. No. Hammered. It's hammer time.
We are beyond hammered time.
Are you?
I got a 10.
Oh, you're beyond plastered.
Yes.
That makes you the first person in the bar to become
That's out.
Comatose.
unconscious.
Alright.
Well, I'm guessing from
Is
upstairs.
Rosie unconscious too?
No.
Oh.
No,
I'm gonna
Rosie's
throw
right
up
there.
the
Though she's just, you're like you're just drooling, and Rosie just continues to laugh at everything and slap you on the back, as not really
I'm
sure
guessing-
that she knows that you're unconscious.
I'm
I'm not
guessing,
sure I know it either.
Yeah. I'm gonna wake up for just a second.
I'm guessing from upstairs I heard a small thud, and so I just looked back and kind of.
Where are you?
19.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
16.
16. Oh, you're still good.
Still tipsy.
You passed, right? No, you moved up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm plastered.
Yeah.
I'm plastered. Mine.
All right.
I'm still tipsy.
At this point, the chick, the harlot chick, she's had enough to drink that she's like super whatever, and she says something to the knoll that you don't hear, And he looks back at her and he's like,
I don't hear it. I'm right next to them.
yeah, but it's loud in here. Everybody's like, there's a drum right in your ear.
Well, if she's wasted, she's loud too.
Except she whispers it to him. But you can make a perception check to try to overhear it. Is that with your minus for being...
I would have had an 18 if it was not with my minus.
10. Yeah, you don't know what she said. It's a whisper. That's beyond your hearing. You could just hear a whisper.
I'm a cat.
Well, add your cat bonus.
Don't argue with the GM.
Drunk cat. Hey, you learned to
I'm closer. I'll roll a perception check. See if I hear anything.
All right. Yeah, you're right next to her, huh?
That's on 20. Oh, I hear nothing.
No, you hear lots. You just don't hear what she says. You hear a drum. You hear people yelling. You hear people falling down.
Someone farted.
Gross.
Yeah.
'Cause you're next to me.
I mean, there's all kinds of smells in this bar at this point because people are losing all kinds of control.
Cat farts are worse.
Yeah, that drunk guy at the bar probably used to change the pants when he gets home.
So all you know is she whispered something to him, and he kind of laughs at her and like pushes her hand off of him, and she turns and she smacks him. Yeah. She says something in Chelish that does anybody speak Chelish? All right, but it sounds like a curse, right? And so he just glares at her, and then he shoves her away from him, and she falls and kind of tumbles into you. Make a reflex check, a reflex save.
Oh boy.
And roll the big one.
15.
A 15? Alright. You catch her. And she kind of didn't even like acknowledge that you caught her. She's just like, I can't believe this guy pushed me. So she grabs the table and she just throws the table up and spills everybody's drinks all over those guys. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a pretty big table.
It's a big
There's a
table.
lot of us in there.
She's very strong.
No kidding.
She's been empowered by the alcohol
Yeah, I
that
guess
she's
so,
consumed.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, it's big, but it's like off. It's just balanced by that little point in the middle.
No, it's a big old barrel on the underneath. It's not one of these.
Yeah.
It's just a table.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, but it's not like it's got 4 legs.
okay. All right.
It's just all the stuff goes everywhere, all over everybody, and now drinks start flying, and the little goblin picks up whatever's nearby, a cup off the ground, whatever, and he just kind of backhands it out into over the edge into the bar down below. Yeah, and
Great.
yeah, and so a bar fight ensues. Are you
Right.
happy, Kay?
There you go.
Are you
Kay.
happy? It's gonna be a bar fight.
Yeah.
Why not?